Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, throw open your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's time for John Perrotta's Comedy Factory New Year's Eve show, sponsored in part by Old Lang Syne. Why? Because it's not just a song, it's also a beer. And around here, we like beer. And now, your host, John Perrotta.
Mike, I love beer, but I haven't drank one in almost 4 years.
Don't worry.
The last time I drank beer, I wound up in bed with Jay Burns. I woke up, he was smoking a cigarette and eating Dominoes. I can't drink. I wind up in crazy places. Vincent came out of the bathroom, Brian Vincent, as Grandma Martha in a girdle. I can't drink. Jay knows I can't drink.
It's true. It's very true.
This is our almost New Year's Eve special. Almost New Year's Eve special. And before we get into anything, tonight we got a dear friend. Some of you know him, some of you don't. He's a fellow comedian. He's an all-around great guy. It was always great to me. Anthony Tarby Richards. I went out to New Bedford a couple of times to meet him, talk about shows, and we went out to a place that Fisherman Platters a couple of times. He's a real cool guy. A veteran. He's got COVID right now. He's in the hospital. We send our prayers and been praying hard for him. He's such a great guy. And you guys that haven't met him, you meet Anthony Tarby Richards. He's one of a kind. He really stands out. Gigantic personality, a huge heart. Does stuff for the veterans and so many people. He's got a great family. Lady D knows him, and he's just an awesome guy. So tonight, everybody out there say a prayer for Anthony Tarby Richards. And I believe in their prayer, and we can pull him through this, and he'll be back on his feet. And there'll be nothing more. I'd like to get another fisherman platter with him and cheat on my diet to see him back, So let's pray for Anthony. And we'll start the show. On that note, we got an esteemed panel, Mike. We have first responders. She's a nurse by day, stand-up comic by night. Larisa Entin. Larisa, she's been a regular on our show, another regular, but tonight she's in her character, Maria Natasha.
Maria Natasha. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We'll get back to her. And we got our man, the lovable, here he is, funny guy, Jay Burns. He's in the Bruce Wayne library, where if he pulls that thing behind him, that statue, he can go down to Batcave and become Batman. I love the whole look, Jay. I like it.
I try. And you've made me very hungry for a fisherman's platter. I have to be honest with you.
Me and Toby he took me to this place. I think it was Jeans in Fairhaven or something. And we had this giant fisherman's platter. And then I went up there again one time. Let's go back. I'll pay this time. We had another giant fisherman's platter. Awesome stuff. You like fisherman's platters, Jay?
I like a fisherman's platter. Same with you. We really shouldn't be having it because it's a giant pile of deep fried, but
Yeah, I know.
What does the fisherman's platter consist of?
All kind of stuff. Tell us, Natasha.
Fried clams, fried scallop, fried shrimp, fried fish, French fry.
Delicious. Delicious. Tartar sauce, Mikey.
Not always delicious, but yes.
Well, it's good. It's good. I'm not a big fish guy.
I've had some bad fisherman platters.
I'm not a big fish guy, Jay, and I liked it. I didn't eat the scallops, but I loved everything else. It was really, really good. Yeah. What's been going on in your world, Jay Burns?
In my world, just work and worrying about the trying to get out of quarantine safely, and that's it's all crazy now. It's all very, very crazy.
Yeah, it's you know what the thing is. For a long time, you hear all these people getting COVID. I didn't know anybody. Yeah, it was weird. I didn't really know anybody. And the last few weeks, I know two people that passed away. A dear friend of mine, Pam, from when I was young, 61 years old. Another Russ Freeman that worked at the prison, great guy. 52 years old. My friend Toby, our friend, is in the hospital, and numerous other people, like many, like 10, 15 people or more that I heard got this. So
Yeah.
it's getting scary now. It's getting scary. We got to hunker down and get through these next few months until we can get the vaccine and hopefully things will start getting better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
nice to be able to go out and hug people again. And
Oh yeah. After the shows, when I used to do like lemongrass, I would always go to the door, thank everybody for coming, shake their hands, and we thought nothing of it. You know what I mean? As a matter
I
of
mean,
fact, I was at lemongrass the 27th of February and Spirital's the 28th. They say the virus was around then. I was out shaking. I must have shook 300 or 400 people's hands.
yeah,
I didn't. I could have got it then. I'm lucky because I didn't even know. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And it's funny, right when it first around that same time, I think actually I was supposed to be on the 27th show in February, and I couldn't do it because I had to do something for work in New York. So I was in the middle of Long Island where there was a huge surge right off the bat in February, and we had a big show where people were walking in and walking out, and 3 weeks later we were all sent home. It's like that's kind of crazy that it was that close to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, speak to this. You working in the in the food and alcohol industry part time as you do at the Sunnyside. Christmas Eve day, I went and I finished my Christmas shopping. Angel took me up to New Life Christian store, and then I went on to my sister's house in Warwick and my son's house up in Warwick Neck. So we get on Post Road. We go by the Gridiron. You couldn't put another car in the parking lot. We take the corner on Airport Road. So I look to my left, Sarasota, the old Halmax, packed.
Yep.
Get on Airport Road, go by Hooters, could not put another car in the parking lot. How are they doing it? And also, when we came back, we stopped at Twins, and I bought supper takeout. And when we rode by Cleveland Street, I looked down, and Johnny had the big lamp lights on. That usually means that Sunnyside is open. Did you open for Christmas Eve? You did?
We did, yeah.
How are these establishments packing these people in like sardines when Gina Raimondo is saying you can only have a certain capacity?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for anywhere else. I mean, I know at the Sunnyside we've greatly restricted how many people can come in. I mean, we moved everything. There's no bar seating. We socially distance everybody. We've been very safe about everything there. There's plastic up. It's we're doing everything we can to prevent spread. But there truly are places out there that just don't care. I mean, that's genuinely what it feels like to me. They just don't care. I mean, there was a place I went to maybe, I'd say in August when we were kind of in that weird middle period where it started to slow down a little bit, it was just starting to go back up. And everything was supposed to be socially distancing, as far as tables and seating and everything like that. And I remember walking into a restaurant and I was just picking up some takeout, and I heard the hostess say, "Just sit wherever you want. It doesn't matter."
Wow.
So, I mean, I really, truly believe, that point. And again, at this point, I think at this point, people are, even the people that were smart and did it all summer long, I think now we're all getting just too much cabin fever.
Right.
And I think it's becoming just more than people can handle. And that's why, like Christmas Eve was a crazy night for bars. I mean, the benefit of New Year's Eve is that, most action happens is midnight. So all bars have to close by 10 on a Thursday night. So in Rhode Island, at least, in Massachusetts, I believe. So, I mean, the benefit is that, even if people are packing in there, hopefully they're not packing them in there because they're going to do something at midnight. I hope they don't. I hope everyone stays home and celebrate yourself and watch Downton Abbey or something like that. It's so much better.
Yeah, this is a time to chill. Definitely a time to chill.
I find that to be very disappointing.
Yeah.
Angel lost it. He didn't know to look at Sarasota's, but he knows that Gridiron is a bar because you can tell. And when he saw Hooters, he just came unglued. He was very, very upset, and rightfully so, because you've got these people. When I say you couldn't put another car in their parking lots, you couldn't. That is so and I get it. I'm probably going to get sheet for saying it, but I think that is irresponsible because you need to be respectful of this, even if you have a healthy immune system.
Maybe we can get you on Gina Raimondo's staff, and you can go around on these joints.
Man, there you go.
Bring Angel in, and he's a big guy. Have him kind of push things around.
That's right.
Go in, tip some tables over. Say, hey, 20 people. Out the door.
Every other table, so you can socially distance everything.
Yeah, you're not socially distanced. You're gonna get out of here.
He could clear the way. Jay knows Angel. Jay's met Angel a few times. Angel's a big boy. There's a lot of Angel.
Yeah, the only thing is, I don't think Angel would do that. He's such a sweet kid. I don't think he would. I don't think he'd be one to knock over tables. So.
You know, he wouldn't knock over tables, but little backstory on Angel. I love him dearly. He has Asperger's. He is, you know, he's just one of the greatest blessings of my life. And to see him get that upset, to see all those cars, Angel's not, he has no filter. He'd say something. He would definitely, because I've told him where he lives, when there's supposed to be just 3 in the elevator, and they all have to wear masks. People get in the elevator without a mask, and they try, he starts to tell them the lay of the land, the rules. And they yell at him. He doesn't like. So I say, no, Angel, give him the elevator.
You can't tell. I don't tell people what to do. A lot of times I'll see someone. I want to say something. You'll like the mass police. You'll be arguing with people. Some people don't want to wear it, and that's it. Yeah. So I can't tell. All I know is I do for me what I got to do. And if you don't want to do it, I'm just staying away from you, and that's your business. We can't save the world. Same thing when I worked at the prison. Guys were there for all different kind of drug crimes, this, that, and you can't save these guys. They got to save themselves. If they want, and I've seen guys get out of it and straighten out. If they want to straighten out, they can straighten out. If they don't, they don't. It's the same thing with this COVID. If they want to follow the rules, and I got to mention, Mike, you talked about Hooters. In 1995, I got a call from Hooters. They said, we want to do comedy. We want to have a comedy night. I think I'm the only guy around. We booked Hooters for about a year and a half. On Monday nights, and you know where they put us, Jay?
Where?
Right in the doorway.
I remember
so
that.
People would come in, and we'd be in the doorway. I'd have like a 2-hour show. It was nuts, right? And most of the old guys in there. And one night I had Dave Andrews on, musical comedian, playing his guitar. He wears his hat. Somebody comes walking by. 3 guys were leaving. They grabbed his hat and ran out. So he thinks they're going to bring the hat in. That was an expensive hat. He thinks they're going to bring the hat back in. They don't bring the hat back in. They drive away. But we did Hooters for about. My name was up in lights. It said John Perrotta's comedy every Monday.
Comedy Factory.
I remember
There's
when
not many places I haven't done, Mike, that we haven't done.
True. I
was at one of your shows there with Dawn from Dawn Patrol, and it was right when I got my haircut really short, and you kept telling me, there's no way you can do the bad boy comedy act with that short hair.
We gotta switch over to Larisa, our first responder. What's going on in the hospital, Larisa? How you making out?
We're good. We're busy, but we have everything we need, so I can't complain.
And you had the vaccine? Well, the last time we talked, you had the vaccine?
Yes, I did get my first vaccine. It
That's
feels
awesome.
just like a flu shot, sore arm for a day or two. Everybody have been saying the second vaccine is a lot more painful, or the way your body responds to it. So I'll keep you guys posted. It's 21 days after the first vaccine. So like I said to you before, at least, it's kind of promising, right? At least it's.
I just hope they speed up. I hope they speed things up because right now they're way under what they were supposed to be giving people. It was supposed to be, I don't know how many millions by the end of the year, and that they're over 1 million or 2. They're like way behind the distribution and getting the shots out. They got to really either call it Defense Production Act. They got to amp this up. People need the vaccine. People are dying. They got to get this out. They can't fool around. You got to bring the military in. Do whatever you got to do. If I was president, Defense Production Act, let's get these vaccines made. Let's get them out to all communities, everybody. Let's get them out. None of this rich guy first, poor guy last. Everybody gets it. Put it out there, and everybody gets it. That's my opinion. But we got to go over to our special guest, Maria Natasha, an old friend of the Comedy Factory.
I'm so confused.
What's the
What-
matter, Maria?
What does defense have to do with the corona? What does defense have to do with that? It's a gate. It's a fence. What?
The Defense Production Act is something the president can call. You can have more vaccines made. You can get more gloves made. Whatever you need, you can amp it up.
About defense, he's gonna change to wall, not fence. No fence.
No, if you don't like fences,
No, it's stupid. No making no sense. No.
what have you been up to, Maria Natasha?
Oh, about the 5'7". Yeah.
What's going on in your world? Anything?
Nothing. Just wondering. I'm still trying to understand this country. I've been here for many years now. I'm still trying to understand why you say one word and means many things. Like my husband, for instance, is cheap. He walks, you hear squeak, 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 because he's cheap. And then the fire department have a cheaper fire department. They got a cheaper police. They got a cheap, why they use the same word for all these people? And the bed. I put the sheet on my bed. I don't understand why they call this sheet of paper, sheet of bed, sheet on the bed, sheet on the toilet, sheet everywhere, sheet. Okay. It's stupid. Don't make
It's
sense.
stupid. Jay, what do you make of Maria Natasha?
Well, it's funny. I was actually just thinking about today. You know how people use other words so they don't swear, and I was like, I was thinking about it today. Like, it makes no sense to me. Like, people say sugar. Sugar. I'm like, I'm diabetic. Don't bring that around me. You can't do that. I heard someone say the other day, cheese and crackers, and I got excited. I was like, are we fighting or are we going to have a charcuterie board? I don't know what's happening.
What
Very
the fudge?
confused.
What the fudge?
Another one. What the fudge?
Fudge.
No, I don't know what to fudge. What should I fudge? I didn't know fudge was a verb. I thought it was a noun, not a verb. I don't know. It's confusing. I don't understand it myself. So I'm with you on the language.
Mhm. It's crazy. Don't make no sense to me.
There's a lot of things that don't make no sense to me. One thing that makes no sense to me is how I got married 3 times. I don't understand this.
To the same woman.
No.
Only one.
Once to one Italian girl and twice to another Italian girl. 3 times. And I'm not the marrying type. So, I mean, I'm in therapy over this.
I beg to differ, John. Apparently you are.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Jay. That's
Listen,
right. That's right.
I'm not, I do already. I'm not really the marrying type. I'm not really the marrying type, but I don't know. It just happens.
How you not be married type when you married 3 times?
Listen, I don't know what it is. I had a girlfriend when I was 14 years old. I'm 62 years old, almost 63. I don't recall 3 days since I was 14 that I didn't have a girlfriend. I don't
Are
understand.
you serious?
I'm one of these people that's got to have a girlfriend. So one thing ends, I'm with another girl. And that ends, I'm with another girl. That marriage ends, I'm with another girl. That marriage starts, then I'm with another girl. I have had a girlfriend, Larisa, from 14 to 62, almost nonstop. I don't know if anybody, this explains why I twitch. You know what I mean? I've had.
That is just absolutely amazing. Larissa,
I
go
gotta
ahead. You got your
twitch.
hand up.
Mike, I swear to God, I don't recall a few weeks at the most in 50 years that I haven't had a girlfriend. What do you make of this?
I haven't had a girlfriend since Woodstock. Let's go to Larissa.
So,
Larissa,
John,
what do you make of this?
So, John, okay, it's my department. Not so. Did you marry your 3rd wife before or after you ended up in bed with Jay?
Well, see,
Before or after? I'm curious.
when I'm married or I got a girlfriend and when I used to drink heavy, I wind up in bed with Jay and stuff like that. That stuff just happened, and it wasn't really cheating because, when she comes in and me and Jay laying in the bed, Brian comes out in the girdle. That's not cheating. I'm with the guys.
It's
Okay,
not
so
cheating if there's
but Jay, hold on. He was sober at that time. Did you buy him beer specifically because you had in mind what can happen potentially?
Absolutely.
Jay
O'Doul's
was
is a
attracted
dangerous
to
thing.
me. Jay was attracted to me.
So you are behind. You're the guy
Jake was
behind.
attracted to me. Especially if John's got the blue mask on, because those blue eyes of his just
Hey,
pop right out at you.
I've never had time in the 50 years. Somehow, Maria Natasha and Larisa, beautiful girl. Maria Natasha I've known since 2000, but she was married to Tony. So there's never been a
Still is.
moment where me and Maria Natasha could have wound up on a date, but it never happened.
You're wrong. The Maria Natasha no married. I no married.
Oh, you're not married.
No, Lady D married. Maria Natasha, she no married.
Oh, Lady D's married. You're like Sybil. You're all different,
Darlene is married.
all different characters.
Yes, but Maria Natasha, she no married. No.
Oh, maybe down the road, I'd like to see the Maria Natasha, at least for one night down the road.
Oh, one night.
Yeah,
my
I think it'd be a
goodness.
great match.
I'd
Maria,
like to see Maria Natasha for one night, he said.
one night. You know what I mean?
I
Keep the
want
streak
it.
going.
I'm
What's that, Larissa?
Kind of date. I'm so tired of that one night. I don't like that.
You know,
Make
like,
it two.
You
Make
have
it
it forever.
nice.
I'll give you 3 nights. Only thing is, Jay Burns and Brian Vince are going to be in the room.
And there's probably going to be a fisherman's platter. That's the other thing.
But
We're going to be in a
here's-
fisherman's platter.
are they gonna be dancing on the nightstands?
Larissa wants to watch.
That
She's
costs
going to
extra.
take our blood pressure. She's a nurse. She'll be in there taking our blood pressure. Check
Yeah,
Maria
what
Natasha
about
before
this,
anything
father?
happens.
No. No, you and Maria Natasha, your blood pressure gonna go very, very high. Yes.
But
Hot
we gotta,
stuff over here. Hot
But-
stuff.
now, this isn't the weekly check-in. Jessica Lee, usually she might be able to advise me on why I'm like this. But why is it from 14 to 62, I've hardly ever been out without a relationship?
Really?
Like it's been a
Real
non-stop
talk?
relationship with about 75 women. Why?
You
Can't
don't
figure
like
that
it
out?
yourself. You
You
don't
want
like
real-
it yourself. You gotta be with somebody else. You
I don't like myself, so I got to be with somebody else.
Yes,
Larissa, what are you going to say?
I think it's because she's so irresistible.
he is.
I'm irresistible.
It's what
Oh.
it is. Yeah.
Well,
He
they
would
say
love to
that.
kill one. Women wouldn't allow him.
My first wife thought I was irresistible.
Then
The
she
first
tried
2
to
months of the
lose it.
marriage, Jay, the first 2 months of the marriage, she'd make my lunch, right, and put a note in it. I love you. I used to pull out of the driveway. She was in the picture window, blowing me kisses. I said, this marriage thing, you know what? It might be pretty good for me. 2 months into the marriage, I swear to God, Jay, I'm pulling out of the driveway. I look up. She's in the picture window. Give me the finger. It was they don't last, Jay. It's 50 years of relationships, but they break and then someone else comes. They break, someone else comes. It doesn't last, Larissa.
Every time you bring Jay home, they get mad. You can't keep
They
bringing
get mad. At the end of the relationships, they're all mad at me. No matter what I did, good or bad. So figure, I don't know how many women I dated in my life. At the end, they all hate John Perrotta. So there's actually a group of women in this state. If you put an ad in the paper, how many women hate John Perrotta? They probably sign up for a lawsuit. There's probably 50 to 75.
Oh, if you could get him to a show, that'd be one hell of a bringer.
Oh yeah.
But they loved me at the beginning, Larissa. At the end, they want to boot me.
John, love me or hate me, just don't forget me. So as soon as they don't forget
Oh, they don't
you-
forget me. They don't forget me. They don't forget me.
Mike, what do you say about it?
What do you say, Mike?
You
He's
know,
known a lot through the years. He can't say everything, but he knows. Mike has been a first-hand
A loyal
observer.
friend, I know.
First-hand
John-
observer to this.
John and I would have to. We couldn't even do that show. I was going through pictures today on Facebook, and there was one I posted a few years, quite a few months back when my hair was really long, and people that never knew me with long hair were like, "Wow, wow, 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 wow!" And Johnny P writes, "I remember that hair. I lived those days with you, bad boy." And let me tell you something. Well, I'll sum it up like this. Bon Jovi has a lyric in the song, "I've seen a million faces and I've rocked them all." John and I did that. And some of those stories have to stay right in the vault. They have to stay right in the vault.
Yeah, we had some wacky things happen. But a matter of fact, one time we briefly touch on this. Mike and I don't know what happened. I don't know when this was. We got involved with a couple of crazy, something happened, and I liked one girl, and Mike liked these other girls. Long story. This girl wants to go with Mike, and then the next day, I think, or that night, I told Mike, I'm going to drive my car through your door.
Yeah, he did.
We can't go too much into that. I was going to drive my car, Larisa, Maria Natasha, right through his front door.
We're not doing that story any justice, but there are kids watching at home, so we can't get into the true details. But I will tell you this. I was being an upstanding, good friend and declined these two young ladies. And the next day, because this is before cell phones, John calls me up on the landline telling me in no uncertain terms, using very colorful language, that he's going to drive his car right through my house and beat the living you-know-what out of me. So now
I got a temper, Larisa.
we start to go back and forth with it. So now I'm trying to reason with John. I'm trying to reason with him, but he's still staying mad, but I'm chipping away a little bit, but not enough. He hangs up. I don't hear from him for like a couple of days. Calls me up. Here's the voice I get. Bad boy. I'm sorry, brother. You know me. I'm sick. I'm a maniac. I was like, yeah, I stayed in a hotel for the last 3 nights, so your car wouldn't come to my front door.
Crazy. I'm not full of surprises.
I like to think of myself, Jay. I thought about it the other day. I've had a colorful life, put it that way. I've had many crazy things happen from when I was 14. Up until then, I was kind of halfway normal. From 14 to 62, I've had a colorful life, Maria Natasha.
I would say, you know, one of the things I think about sometimes is when Sonny Bono passed away, Cher at his wake was talking about an article in Reader's Digest about the most colorful person that you could ever remember in your life, and that was Sonny Bono for her. Like, you're on that list, that spectrum list of people that I'm always like talking about.
You like, talk about me, Jay?
Oh my God, all the time. If you know how many times I slip into the John Perrotta voice, like, brother,
really?
What you doing, brother? You're crazy. This guy, look at this guy, he's crazy, brother. Like, all the time. Anytime Brian and I are together for more than 10 minutes, it's the Perrotta voice comes out somehow, some way.
I don't know what it is with my Italian sound and accent, but I've had numerous people imitate me through the years from when I was young. I had a guy, I won't mention he was a comic from Boston. He passed away. He said, well, the way you talk, your Italian accent, your dialect, you'll never make it in comedy. That's what he told me. He said, you'll never make it in comedy. The way you talk, you sound like a mob guy. You'll never make it. That's what he told me.
Was he wrong?
Yeah, so
he was wrong. He's not even alive anymore. It's how wrong he was.
He's gone, and I'm still talking with the Italian accent. Jay Burns imitates me, so I'm all right. Things are all right.
You will forever be remembered. That's the fact. And I can honestly say, most of my crazy comedy stories begin with, so I'm at a Perrotta show. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Most of them start, I'm at a Perrotta show.
That's what I hope. I hope when I go, people will remember the shows we had, the fun we had. We had a lot of great times. Larisa was just getting in, and then things went, and then Darlene, Maria, Natasha were just coming back, ready to sing and do comedy. Everything was coming together at the beginning of the year, 2020, January, February, awesome. And then it was just coming together. Larisa, I think, did the Comedy Connection, and I had her coming up with some other stuff. I had Maria Natasha. I had her at the Whaler Inn. She's going to sing, do comedy. Jay, I was using Jay, Lemongrass, different places. Things were just coming together. It's going to be a great year. And whoever knew a monkey wrench would be thrown in like this, it's an unbelievable year. Unbelievable. But I'll say some good things. If you ask me what good came out of the pandemic, and if I sat and wrote some stuff down, I've had some good things happen. Like Mike Cronin, him and I, Mike, 30 years ago, we started comedy. I became friendly with him, and years go by, and you kind of touch base, or you kind of lose touch with each other. And doing the Zoom shows, I got connected back with Mike, and we rekindled our friendship. And we always loved each other from the early '90s, but now we're back where we were. We're like great friends again. You know what I mean? Not that we never were, but it was just that. Yeah, that we were kind of went our own ways. You had your life, I had my life. You were running the Meatball Comedy Stop in Worcester, and then you had Laughter and Hope Ministries. I was doing a comedy factory. We just didn't get together as much. But now the Zoom has brought me and Mike. It's rekindled our friendship. And Darlene, Lady D, Maria, Natasha, we were getting ready. And I'm sure there would have been a lot of stuff this year with us and Larisa and Jay. So, and a lot of other, I think of other things. I'm sure there's other things. It's been bad, the pandemic, but there are some good things that have come out of it. If I think that there's more.
I can agree with that. I think, John, that we are closer now than we ever were. We're older. We're 62. We have a different mindset than we did back in 1991 and 92. And I think that the love that we have for each other is deeper. It's stronger. That's my thought. And on that note, speaking about COVID and what it's done to our industry, we here at the Comedy Factory Zoomalooza are going to go in a different direction. In January, we're going to be booking a very good friend of mine, Karen Porcelli Sabetta. Been a good friend of mine for 32 years. Used to come to my shows when she was 17, using her sister's fake ID. She's been going to John's shows forever. She even told me tonight, she goes, I used to use my fake ID to go to John Perrotta's shows. So I said to her, you should come on the show. I'd love to come on the show. And what Karen is going to talk about is her thoughts, which I know what they are, but I'm not going to share them. She's going to come on the show and talk about what it means for someone like herself and her husband, who are big supporters of live comedy, and what this has done to them not being able to go. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna come in January. We're excited for that show.
Yeah, we'll have to set that up. Definitely. And the other thing with the pandemic is you get used to, life was so fast paced for all of us. You're running from here, running there. When I was doing shows, or sometimes I do 3 shows in a night. I remember at Spirital's on February 28th, I had to run out and do a cancer benefit in Woonsocket, run back, and all the hustle and bustle. It's all stopped. It's like I appreciate life. In other words, it's slowed down, and I almost appreciate, hey, I was going 150 miles an hour. Now I'm going 25 miles an hour. I kind of like it. I kind of like that the pace is slowed down. I was going so fast with comedy that I wasn't paying attention to a lot of things in my own life, and spending more time with my kids. Every time I was with her, I was always on the phone, looking at the phone, who texted me for a gig, I got to go make a call, always hustling, and none of that's now. It's all, and I really somewhat enjoy it. I go stir crazy too, but I enjoy that things have slowed down. You know what I mean? You get me, Maria, Natasha?
Yes, very much, very much. I'm so happy that you guys are nice friends now, because now you don't drive your car through his door no more.
That's right. Let me tell you, I'll have to get John's permission for the after show to tell you people the story. And that's only if John gives the okay. But I want to go to your point, John, is people, and I know what this is like because I've been a booker forever. I don't know if the average person that comes to your shows understands that for as big as you have become in comedy, and I'm
just a regular. I'm another comic like that. I don't like to think that way.
I know you don't, because you're humble. But
you got the connection. You got Mike Clark. There's a million people. I mean, I'm not.
John, but there's no one. I've been telling people forever, the road to comedy in Rhode Island starts with John Perrotta.
Not necessarily.
And what I want people to understand is, most people that have production companies the size of yours, they have a staff. You don't. You do this all by yourself. Most have a staff that have been delegated rooms to manage, shows the book. You do the whole thing A to Z
I'm
yourself.
thinking now I was crazy because I booked the
What?
show. I had Vin Giacoboni make the flyers. I get them at Staples, bring them to the place, the restaurant, put them in there. I get the sound in there. I have someone bring the sound in. I'd run the door, collect the tickets. I'd
Wow.
pay the comedians. I'd shake everybody's hand after. There's a lot of work went into all these shows. And you're right. I'm nuts because I had no staff. I mean, here and there, I'd have Jay help me and Steve DiNuccio, a lot of comics. I appreciated Jay helped me many times and Steve DiNuccio. I'd get, hey, Jay, can you go over Asia Grill, run the door, and I'm going to be coming in. And I'm a good organizer, you know. But, yeah, I took on too much. I realize that now. I took on too much.
On a
Yeah.
March, on a Thursday,
But
March
you enjoy
March 12th.
it, and you're
March
so
12th.
March 12th on a Thursday, you was gonna drive your car right through the door in New Bedford over there. I know you was going to do that. You told me you was going to do something crazy.
When they cancel the show on us.
Yes. What's the name of that joint?
I don't want to mention the name. We
I'm
had
gonna tell you
100.
the name.
We had 150 people coming. Lady D was going to sing before the show, do Maria and Natasha in her act, and we were going to have a great time. 8 o'clock the night before, I'm in a market. The phone rings. The manager tells me the owner doesn't want to do it because of the COVID. We got to cancel. And I hadn't really come to grips with the COVID yet. And I said, cancel. We got 150 people. We can't cancel. They canceled the show, and I was upset. But now I look back, I shouldn't have been upset. You know what I mean? But I was upset. Yeah, that was crazy.
Friday 13.
Yeah, that was the night of the show. Yeah.
13 Friday, no good.
Yeah, and I had Larisa coming up. Where did I have you coming up, Larisa? I had you I had you in a contest
So
in July.
my last show. So yeah, my last show was at Copperfield's,
Yeah,
and
then
after I was supposed to do Comedy Connection twice, and after participate in your comedy competition in July.
yeah, maybe you would have took our comedy class too. We had a comedy class scheduled for September with Rock and Joe and Colleen Galvin. So yeah, everything got wiped out for the year, you know. What's that?
She froze.
I think
Larisa froze.
Sorry,
There you
guys,
are.
yeah.
What did you say, Larisa?
I said, I'm sorry, I didn't have a connection for a second. I don't have it says, yeah, so forgive me for a second. I don't have a connection.
Welcome back.
Larisa is so polite. I love Larisa. She is so polite.
She's pretty
But
girl.
I'm sure, listen, but we will, guys. Before you know it, we will be on the stage again.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be
fun.
it's
Because
gonna be
we
a
will
few months.
appreciate more than ever.
Yeah, the thing is, people, maybe some people don't, maybe other guys do it different, but the problem with the Comedy Factory, I put a lot of planning into it, Jay. You know what I mean? Like, in other words, when November came and I did the Asia Grill, I would get 4 dates from them and have them for the next year. Then I would go to Lemongrass and I'd get my dates for the next year. Then I go to, unfortunately, Spirito's closed. I go to Spirito's restaurant, get some dates for the next year. Carriage in. And so January came, I had stuff. I had some shows booked through the year. I had the VFW in Warwick booked for the comedy class in September. I had the Knights of Columbus in Warwick booked for the graduation show for the comedy class in November. It took a lot of work. November, December, I would work hard. In January, so once the year came, I already had stuff rolling. Other calls would come in, but I'd have stuff already planned. So people don't realize you can't just throw a show together and, oh, we'll do one next week. At least for me, I had to have 6 to 8 weeks to promote a show. You know, if it was an open mic, it's different, like Copperfield's but if you're going to do a show where you make a flyer and you got some good acts, a couple of newer acts, you got to have 6 to 8 weeks to push it. That was I call it my system, but it worked. It worked for the most part. We always got a good crowd, like Jay. We always got good crowds in Lemongrass, and you know.
Absolutely, no, I love the Lemongrass shows. This is one of my favorite shows. But you know, and it's true though. Like you know, Brian and I, my business partner and I, we did maybe a show a month, and it was 2 of us doing everything. And you know, I mean, and we're exhausted. You know what I mean? Like, we were absolutely exhausted. We're pulling everybody in. We're, booking acts. We're the ones who did. I'm designing the flyer. You know what I mean? Brian's helping with the sound. It's like, it's just the two of us doing it, and you're doing 6 times the amount of work, and it's just you.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Right? Think about that, people. Think about that. John's doing shows 7 nights a week by himself.
Yeah, I won't go back to that pace. If I go, we go back, I'll do it a much. I feel anyway. I'll do a less of a
Do it
pace,
smarter, John.
and I'll
That's
delegate
what
more. I'll say, Jay, go run this room. Mike, go over here and run this room. Steve Denocho. I can't do the pace I was at before. It was too much,
You're a godfather, not a capo. Remember that. You gotta get the capo to cut the capas. They're gonna take care of everything for you. You just sit there and you rake it all in. It's your
Right,
plan.
exactly. And like you said, John, you're enjoying it. And Terry has even said, "Boy, I hope you don't go back to that same pace. I'm really enjoying the time we're spending together at night." And you said, "Yeah, I agree." But look at him, he's raising his eyeballs.
That's a beautiful thing.
We're enjoying it, Maria Natasha.
That's a beautiful thing.
I
like what Jay said. You just get some baby powder, put on your nose, and you sit there. You just be the king.
John, where did you learn such an amazing business skills and organizational skills?
I got OCD, I got ADD. I went to CCRI and then Roger Williams. I had a minor in business administration. I really believe the business classes, marketing and different classes I took, I think that helped me. Helped me. And then I threw myself in a comedy, had no clue what I was doing. And with other guys, and we started our own shows, and I learned, okay, that don't work, and that works. It was trial and error over a period of time, and it's just the way it was. I put my heart and soul into it. I loved comedy, and I loved getting stage time for the comics, and it just kind of rolled. I went, and I started getting good rooms, and we'd have fun, and it was so much fun, and we do more. And I wanted to get as many comics involved as I could. You know what I mean? That's what I like to have as many as I can to get involved in the shows. And you know that, Darlene, from way back. We used to do C-Con Martin, and Mike goes way back. And I enjoy it. I love meeting the people. I got some of the best friends I've ever made in my life. Jay's a great friend. Mike, Larisa, Maria, Natasha. I have so many. I'm blessed because I have so many great friends that if I never got into comedy, I had friends from the Navy and I worked at the prison, friends there, and other friends I've had, but the comedy, I've made some unbelievable friendships. Like Darlene is like family. Her and her husband are like family to me. You know what I mean? I've known them so long, and we would run into each other here and there when she got out of comedy for a while, and it was like we just, you know what I mean? We just always got along great. Larisa, I met back in February, and then we clicked and we got along great. From what I knew, Jay was awesome to me. We used to be at the pub back when I was drinking. We used to stay there late with Eric and have a few too many. And
I was thinking about, we were talking about that show at Hooters. Like that, one of my favorite Perrotta shows was at the pub, and it was an open mic night, but it happened to be St. Patrick's Day. And it was before the pub expanded. So the pub was this little tiny, and we were right up front near the windows, right near the door. And there's a door to the bowling alley and a door to the outside. So we were right in the middle of everything. And I have never seen this place more crowded in my entire life. Like you could, on a good day, you could maybe fit 80 people in there. And on St. Patrick's Day, no word of a lie, there was at least 270. Like it was ridiculously packed, and the mic was on so high and no one could hear anything because everyone was yelling and talking, and I literally remember that at one point in time, and I want to say it was Mike Holmes on the mic was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna start doing comedy to you guys, and just turned to the comedians and started doing comedy to us, and we were laughing. It was one of the funniest things because we realized we're just going to make each other laugh. No one else is listening. No one else is even looking at us. Yeah,
we,
one of my
we've had some
favorite pub nights.
we've had some great nights. We've had some crazy nights. We've had some crazy nights.
John is a one-man wrecking crew. I'm going to tell you, excuse me, I'm going to tell you two stories. One I've told before many times on our Zoom shows. The iconic original Comedy Factory poster with all the comedy characters around the table and whatnot. That's what John started with out of the gate. And he was like hurricane winds coming in off the ocean. He was just a force to be reckoned with. I'm driving around one day. I pull up to a red light, and I look at the telephone pole, and stapled to that or taped to that is the John Perrotta Comedy Factory.
Are you serious? I still can't believe that.
Yep. And then another time I come in, and this, boys and girls, is before cell phones. We had a big show. It probably was the Imposter. I was living in Providence, and we had a bad snowstorm. It was snowing, but the owner of the establishment hadn't told John if it was a yay or a nay, because these shows sold out. John is calling me on the landline, and he's telling me, "Man, boy, nothing new yet. Nothing new yet. Stay by the phone. I'll keep you posted." Every half hour, he's calling me with an update. The man was on top of everything.
You're crazy.
I'll tell you, John, thank goodness you didn't say, "I want to hire a staff," because you would have said, "You know what? I'm going to take over the United States of America." Because if you got a staff behind you with your drive, forget about it. You would have been booking David Letterman and Leno in our city hall.
And the Shoney's over in Ohio. It would have.
I'm telling you, working with John in the beginning, having a front row seat to see how this whole thing got up in the air and took off. I'm honored.
It took off, and the pandemic made it go down. Now we got to try to bring it up to another level.
Come back full swing. You watch. Oh shoot, Darlene's here.
Darlene Andrade's here now, Lady D.
That's what I was gonna say. Everybody has a voice for John. Mine is Andrade. Come on, Andrade. You gotta do comedy again. Come on. I love you, Andrade. Oh, how's Tony? Yeah. Oh, I love you guys. You gotta get back in. We need more girls. Come on, Andrade.
Yep, that's John. That's John. Darlene, he came over my house a few weeks ago, and he couldn't find video of me, but he had audio. He had a cassette tape of me, and he's got some of the old headshots that he used in the newspapers for me. So he's playing the audio tape, and you can hear me doing my set on stage, but you can hear John saying, I'd say a joke, and he'd say, "He's sick. He's this guy. He's gone. He's sick." He's been saying that for 100 years.
I don't know why I say that. I do say that a lot.
Did I ever tell you my favorite John Perrotta poster story?
No, tell me.
Oh my God.
What is this with the posters?
This is my favorite John Perrotta. So I get a text message from a good friend of mine. He goes, "Are you doing a show someplace in Lincoln somewhere, something like that? Little bar. It wasn't Asia Grill." He goes, "You doing a little show at this bar?" And I said,
"Bet it was the Overtime Bar and Grill."
No, it was. I think it was. I want to say Manville.
Lou's Cafe.
Lou's Cafe. And he goes, "You doing a show here?" And I said, "Yeah." He says the date. I said, "Yeah." How did you know? He goes, "Where are you?" He goes, "I'm taking a piss." I said, "What?" They had put the poster right in front of the urinal. And so he took a picture with his phone, and there's the urinal. Right above the urinal is the poster. John Perrotta's Comedy Factory. Come see the Clam Man.
Yeah.
Jay Burns at the urinal.
So show was not in the bathroom. That's good.
The show wasn't in a bathroom, Larissa. We're going to get Larissa. What's that, Jay?
That was a wicked fun show. And one of my favorite things about that show, it was the first time I met Joe, the Clam Man. But Joe Cabral. It was in December. And I remember at the end of the show, you and I were just, talking to each other, making jokes. And the owner came over to you and goes, "Hey, do you guys like Stuffies?" And you're like, "Yeah." "Yeah, I love stuffies, of course, brother." And the guy goes, "Hold on a second." And he walks over and he has a Ziploc bag full of
I
frozen
remember that.
stuffies.
I remember that. Yeah.
And so John and I got painted stuffies that night.
We got stuffies.
Even better.
Yes.
Oh.
Larisa, we're gonna get you. She's coming into the scene. We're gonna get Larisa rolling. That's one thing I'm doing, getting Larisa rolling. I'm getting Lady D back in. I got big plans. Jay's been in
love
right
it.
along, and Mike, we're gonna get him in. We're gonna have some great shows. We're gonna have some great
And after
times.
we're gonna go for fish platters.
We'll go for fisherman platter.
Fish platters, yeah.
I don't eat the scallops though.
I'll eat your scallops.
Share the
I was
scallops.
gonna say I'll take them. We'll split them.
All right, the three of us will share
yeah.
the scallops.
We
You know,
gotta
you
wrap.
know,
Mike, do we have
thank
to
you,
wrap this
John.
up yet, Mike? What's that, Larisa?
I said thank you. Thank you so much for having all those big plans. We
Well,
love it. Thank you.
We're gonna try like heck to get things to some kind of level this year coming up. I think it'll be the next year before things are really. But hopefully we'll be able to do some stuff this coming year. You know, Mike, do you think it's time to wrap it up?
We started at around 10 past and it's 8. It's straight up 8 right now.
So by the time we go around with the wrap and everything,
Yep.
it's about time.
Yep.
I'll do you last, Mike. Maria Natasha, Darlene Andrade, Lady D, like
Maria's
Sybil. You
back.
got all these characters. What are you gonna say to wrap it up, Lady D?
Maria's back. I just have a few questions.
What do you got?
Please allow me. I don't understand in this country why you see the men's, they wear the pants with the belt and suspenders. Why they wear both? Isn't that like putting braces on dentures?
Yeah.
That makes no sense, right?
And they're all fat, that's why.
When my daughter got married, I had the belt on and I put the suspenders on. And everybody said, "Why are you wearing a belt? You got suspenders." Because I was big. I said, I got to do it. I got to do it.
That's it.
That's all I can tell you.
So my wrap up, John, I love you.
I love
Yeah.
you too, Lady D.
Yes, I love you. I know you love. How could you not? Anyways, it was so nice to meet you, Jay. I'll see you again. Larisa, you're so beautiful. I've been on a few shows with you. I can't wait to hear your set. I cannot wait.
Thank
And
you.
Mike, you're always the best announcer ever and have the greatest things to share with us. I cannot wait to hear the rest of the story. That's all I'm saying. Love you, John.
Lady D, we got to thank her again. We did a show just a few days ago, our Christmas show, December 22nd, and she sang a few songs. One of them was Boogie Woogie Santa Claus, which I never heard. It was a bluesy Christmas song. It was awesome. I got to look it up. It was awesome. So we thank you for you got a great talent with your singing and your comedy, and we look forward to doing that show where you're going to sing and then do the comedy. We're going to do that. It's just a matter of when.
Absolutely.
We're going to do that. And when Tony's going to be there, it's going to be, I love her husband. I love her. If I was that way, Tony'd be the man for me. I love him. He just oozes cool, Tony. He's just so cool. Larisa, what are you going to say to wrap it up? Our first
Well, I'm gonna
responder
say it's
comic.
so good seeing you all. I love you guys, and I miss not seeing you in real life. So hopefully, not much longer when we can share the stage.
Yes,
In the
definitely.
meanwhile, happy and healthy New Year to all of
Yes.
you.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Thank you, Larisa.
Welcome.
Jay Burns over there in Bruce Wayne's study. What are you going to say, Jay?
I gotta be honest. I'm looking at this. I'm like, this would be a fun show. The five of us. This would be not. I'd like this show. This would be a lot of fun. You know.
It was a good. I had fun tonight. It was a good show.
It would be good.
This was a fun. We had a fun time. It was a good mix, good chemistry.
It was fun. I love all of you. Great. It was great meeting you, Darlene. It was wonderful. It's great when I can meet new people because everyone you meet makes your life a little bit better. So I appreciate that. Thank you all, and John, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, all of you. Hopefully it's safe and wonderful and healthy, and I love you all.
We
Thank
love you,
you.
Brian. Bad Boy of Comedy. What are you going to say to wrap it up?
I am humbled and honored to have been a part of this esteemed panel tonight.
You say that every time. Can you come
I
up
know,
with a
but
little twist?
It's true. I get excited. I set the studio up early. I do my hair. I even said today I'm going to go with a scarf. I mean, I take this stuff seriously. I really enjoy it. And this was a wonderful show today. As the Britons would say, it was a lovely show. I really enjoyed myself. It was just great connecting with everyone, seeing Darlene and meeting Maria and Natasha, talking with Larisa again. Larisa always has the best questions. She has such a pure heart. Jay, you know I love you. You're one of my closest friends. I love you dearly, and I love you, John. This was a fun time. We're wrapping up 2020. It's been a challenging year for many of us. I would encourage all to lean into God. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't forgotten us. He knows where we are, and he will see us through. I want to close lifting up John's friend Anthony, the comedian who's fighting for his life with COVID. Father God, I come before you in the name of Jesus. I lift this man Anthony up to you. I pray healing and health over him in the name of Jesus, from the crown of his head to the soles of his feet. Let Anthony, his family, know that everything's going to be okay. Let them feel your loving, comforting, reassuring presence that this man, Anthony, is going to be okay. I declare healing for Anthony in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Tabby, you
Amen.
are going to come through this.
Amen.
Yes, he
Amen.
will.
God bless Anthony Tarby Richards. He's gonna pull through. He's got to do it. You know,
Right.
he's a good man, and we need him. And his time's not done yet. His time's not done yet. I want to wish everybody a happy New Year. I love all you guys. Had a good time tonight talking about all kind of crazy stuff. But I'll see all you guys soon. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2021, which God willing cannot be as bad as this year. God willing. I love you guys.
Happy New Year, everyone. God bless.
Yeah.
Thank you. Happy New Year.